90% of people who want to kick them to a handstand skip this one thing. And trust me, if you build a good foundation, getting a handstand for yourself will be the most easiest thing you can do. Let's get started. All right, so for beginners, I want you to understand this. If it's anything you're doing, let's worry about your wrists and your shoulders. Let's warm up, let's get started. First off, we're gonna do is do wrist circles. This is gonna be good for you to actually kind of warming up. I'm gonna show some practicality for it to doing the forward motion and backward motion, but this is what matters the most because why? When you're doing handstand, your wrist will take the most tension to hold up your body and align it correctly. Your shoulder will actually obviously is going to be taking a lot of pain from it. So make sure you prep yourself before you get into even trying a handstand. That way you won't get into Snap City anytime soon. So you're doing wrist circles, right? That's all you're doing is doing about 20 seconds on one side and then doing 20 seconds back on the other side. Next up, this is the forward motion. I don't know everything about anatomy, but I know that when you're doing handstands, you'll be going back and forth like this. Like I said before in my previous video, I don't know which one it was. This is good for your handstand. This is not good. You don't ever want to close your hands. Make sure you're opening up with your hands. This is the claw motion, which I know a lot of calisthenics people say it is. All this is basically going like this. As you can see, your fingertips are really telling you if you can get a handstand or not. So you come in for forward motion like this, push back every time, and this will help prep your frontal part of your wrist. Now, I don't know what it is again. I'm not an anatomy person. Next up is going from your backward motions, coming from here, coming back from here, and this helps build your flexion for your wrist. You gotta do this for do each one about 10 seconds. If it's a little bit too much, just do 5 seconds. If you want to do a little bit more, I say the max about 15-20 seconds, and you go from there. All right, so you're doing wrist circles. The thing about this is that this going wide in is bad. Put these as close as possible to do wrist circles. The closer, the better. This is the closest I can get. Once you get to this point, you're good. You're golden. You actually have some really flexible wrists in the end. You do this for about 15 seconds, 20 seconds max. Build up more of a seconds for yourself to actually get some more tension. Warm it up for your wrist so that way you can actually get prepped for it. Key note before we get into the next section. When you're doing handstands, I want you to remember this. This is not good. Turning like this is good. The reason why this angle is better for you is because it's more easier for your body. If you're doing like this, I've seen people do this, but this, let's say I'm just worrying about beginners. Let me stop struggling with saying it. I'm worrying about beginners more. This is way easier for yourself to get a handstand than it is for this. This is kind of an advanced flexion for it, but you would really need to have really flexible wrists in order to get to this point. So if there's anything warm with your wrist, then make sure that whatever hand position you have, make sure like this in the end. All right, so coming to your core, I will always say this, and I will say it for every video I'm doing for any skill. Your core is going to help you get various skills. Realize this, if you have a weak core, you cannot get most of the skills you want in calisthenics. I will promise you. Half the time, either you get a banana handstand or a banana front lever, banana back lever, a banana planche in the end, which you don't want that in the end. So trust me, you don't. Make sure you build this up first. So for the one thing I can always say that you can do for handstands is the hollow body hold. Now you're just going in like this, making sure that you have no dip at all. You don't want to do this. You don't want to come up like this. Make sure your lower back is seated down on the floor, and you will feel this tightening up really quickly in the end. You want to make sure you can at least hold this for about, let's say about 20-30 seconds. The more, the better in the end. Now, for exercise you can do for yourself to build up a little bit more, make it a little bit more interesting, this is the side plank. You can hold it up from your obliques from right here, push it up more. You just go up here for about, let's say 10 reps, right? And you come back up, you hold your whole body for about 20 seconds, and you come up and do the other one. That way, it's just more interesting, it's not boring, and it's just not as much as you just doing repetitive stuff over and over and over again. So let me go and get started with the other one. Alright, so wall walk is basically like this. You walking up, holding, coming down halfway, and you walking up. Now, I can understand it's a little bit too much in the end, so the most I can ever say is hold it from right here for about 10 seconds. If you can, try to walk down as little as possible, but come halfway like this and just hold it. But the ideal point is that you want to come up here and be horizontal to be able to walk back up. This helps out with your shoulders, making sure you understand at the end about the transition, and also building up that shoulder strength to help you out holding your body weight in the end. Alright, so this is the last series. If this has helped you out by any means necessary, please leave a like, share this video, comment section, but if it's good, like it, and just let me know how I'm doing. I'm trying to help out as much as possible, as much people, trying to get the handstands, trying to get the skills in the end, while I'm trying to get more skills for myself in the end so I can learn more along the way. Now, the last one is the frog stand in. Now, there is something you can do is doing crow pose. However, I have never done crow pose. I'll be really honest with you. If you can do a tuck punch, you're pretty much good on doing a crow pose. To me, I don't know if it's too much or if I'm saying too much or I'm saying it wrong or I'm don't know my P's and Q's in the end, but let me know. But going off from here, now, it's okay if your arms are bending, because remember, you're beginning this skill in the end. This helps out just a little bit, but I'm gonna show right here. You're just coming up from right here, coming in and out, and it's fine if this is bent. Just the whole ideal thing is to build up your shoulder. Now, you could do a frog stand. This is just me. This is playing around with calisthenics. How fun it is. You can play around with this, right? And then you come back and do pike push-up, right? So it's whatever you want to do about, well, the frog stand in. I believe what makes the crow pose, well, I'm beyond, the one thing I can always say that if you want to build up more for your shoulder strength at the end is that yes, you can do a crow pose, or you can do a tuck punch, which is just like this. So you can do that to build up your shoulder strength, but I'm landing right here because I want you to build this foundation the most. Once these are good, trust me, the next video will be even better for you, and you see how easily you can actually get a handstand and hold it. Now, if, like I said, this helps you out by any means necessary, let me know down in the comment section. Share it with people, because I am trying to build a lot of people to help out with their handstands to where it's good to try and get in the end. So subscribe to this channel and let me know how I did. And I see y'all in the next episode, because I am breaking these down about 3 or 4 parts of it, so that way it's easy to digest for yourself and you can actually just come back to whichever video you want to go to. So see y'all next one. Peace.